Lock them doors and turn the lights down low. Hi, I'm Wntrbrk. This is Poland Spring. And you're on Ayoo podcast. Or are you? Because you don't even know. I don't even know. This may not even be happening. I just had a moment with your camera. I'm not gonna. I can't wait for you to go back and just watch that.
All right, we hopping right into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't fuck with you, but I fuck with you. I don't know. I didn't say it right. I don't even know if I said it right.
That shit was so perfect. I didn't know where you were going with that. Like, I was like, damn, bro, these are his fans. He's saying that he doesn't fuck with them? Damn, like, this is where we at? Hey, yo, chill. Like, yo, that was perfect, though.
Welcome back to the Ayoo podcast. Y'all already know the vibes. June in Jersey. And returning to the brand new studio, my boy, my friend, my compadre. Y'all already know. I don't think he needs any introduction, but my boy, take a couple seconds or minutes and let the people know who you are.
Yo, Lewis, thank you for that intro. I go by the name Wntrbrk. I'm from Paterson, New Jersey. To me, I think I'm a rock, R&B, pop, rap kind of artist, even trap a little bit, but whatever you want to call it, I don't really know what to call my music, but yeah, I'm just glad to be here with my guy finally again, bro. It feels like it was forever since the last one. Like, there's a lot of things that's happened since that last meeting, like, especially for both of us, so this shit feels cool to be able to be, like, in this moment right now.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And it's I don't know, it's a blessing. You know, I feel like coming back from the Cinnabon days where we're just you know, chilling there, working day to day, you know, just messing around and then just actually following through with the dreams. I think I think, you know, it's not to gun anybody else, but I think, you know, it's an example to set for people who are in Jersey who are trying to make it. And, you know, when there's a will, there's a way, you know. I think you're the perfect example of that, for sure.
Exactly.
So,
thank you, man.
my dude, let's just hop into it, dude. Last time we were on the podcast, you know, if you don't know his upbringing, his story, how he used to be rapping in front of the bodega and all that, like, y'all need to watch that first, and y'all could come back here. We'll wait for you. But I kind of just wanted to get into, like, kind of like the industry, what has happened on, like, since then. And yeah, you know, when I think the last time we recorded, I think that was maybe October of last year, maybe, or maybe even earlier, somewhere around there. Yeah. So tell me what happened ever since your star role on the Ayoo podcast.
Yeah. Damn, bro. To be honest, like, it's just been a lot of growth. Like, I think a lot of what I've been focusing on is more of, like, where do I want to head? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been really focused on that, like, a lot more. And I think I've always, like, kept that in mind, but I've, like, it's, like, I guess a part of, like, growing up, too. Like, I feel like I've just been more about the real, like, yo, this is getting done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and we talked about it. Like, we've definitely been that, like, I feel like we both are a good representation of really sticking to this and, like, really going for it. But I feel like just recently now is when I really decided, like, nah, like, what am I really doing? Like, I gotta do this. Like, you know what I mean? And I've been, that mindset, like, that I really flicked on, like, I think, like, 20% more changed everything. So now I've just been really on a path of getting this stuff done. Like, you know, like, the Pepsi thing, like, you know, I got, like, these music videos I'm working on a lot more music. And I think that now I'm just really on this road of, like, this is really getting done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in many different ways. Like, so I think that's just really been the new look on, like, really getting this to go places. Like, you know what I mean? So that's really what I've just been on. I've just been on a different mindset of, like, this is really happening. Now, what do I have to do to get it done? And I've just been completing those missions and, like, just trying to get to that spot that I know I deserve to get to, you know?
So talk to me a little bit about, you know, since the last time we talked, you know, we were talking about networking, and I feel like that's always been a big part of what you've been doing, talking to people, working with people, you know, regardless, and especially, like, you know, changing up your style and kind of going for it, you know, because even your latest release, you know, fuck with you, you know what I mean? it's not a pun on words, but like it's not like everybody will look at that and be like, yo, I fuck with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, a lot of people are looking for just that banger. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
not necessarily like, you know, those sweeter songs. And I could respect the shit out of that. So talk to me about, you know, when was it? Because you said specifically before, you know, you kind of turned it up 20%. So did did that happen like after the podcast and the last time we talked?
I think it did, like, it was like around towards the end of last year, I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just, I was dealing with a lot more, you know, we're getting older. I think we're just at the age, like where a lot of things are just like we're at that age where it's like, you're not a kid anymore. So it's like, you don't have the leisure of just not knowing, but we're not at like, you know, 60 or something where we're like, yo, like, it's like I've done nothing. So we're in the middle of like, yo, like, how are we even supposed to feel? Like, are we doing things right? Blah, blah, blah. So I think I just really was going through that, and I just like, you know, like just really just started getting into it where it was just like, yo, like where am I going? Like, you know what I mean? So I think it was like after like the podcast, I just got more into like really focusing on where do I want to like take this and where do I want to like really go, like, you know. But yeah, my bad. What was the actual thing that
The
you
original
were?
question was like, what was that moment where it was kind of, you said, so towards the end of the year,
Yeah.
is kind of when you start realizing
Yeah,
after you're
yeah.
dealing with a lot of that, like, you know, just life issues. And I get it, because we are getting older.
Yeah,
you know?
word.
You deal with a lot of shit, you know what I mean? I understand. So what was that 20% then change? What was exactly then that like, okay, I'm going to take this more seriously? What was the difference between what you were doing then to when you started bringing up, you know,
Oh yeah,
foreign
word. I
passions?
get you. I think it was just more of being like, like if I don't take this serious, like I will fail. Like, and it's just like it's like you always hear it, and I think that's why like people say like, you know, like the things that like you like are simple are usually the things that like work, because it's like we grow up hearing certain things and it's just like it just turns into like a phrase. So like when they're like, yo, if you don't like, if you're not working at this, you're gonna fail. Like if you don't do it every day, you're gonna fail. Like, and you know, you hear that and you're like, like, you know, like you listen to it, but it's not like it doesn't really process. But I think I just got to a time in my life where I was going through a lot with a lot of different things, and it really clicked in my brain. Like I got a feel for what it's like to like really fall off of like not even music, just like life. Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of different shit is happening. So I've witnessed it firsthand, those things that like I feel like people would like tell me, whether it be my father or family, and it made it click that it's like, yo, that line is very true. Like if you don't work at what you're doing, you will fail. Like, and it will, like, it's gonna show you, that shit's gonna kick your ass, like, you know. So it's just like I feel like I felt that, and that's when it clicked in my brain, like that was like, yo, I gotta do this. So I just really just turned into like a working monster. Like I just wanted to do everything, and if I don't get that feeling of like I'm doing it, then I'm not doing enough, and I'm gonna get to it. Like, you know what I mean?
For sure. No, for sure. So why don't we hop into when that new level came and your new kind of vision came, what was the first thing that happened that you saw like real success in?
Damn. The one that could really like stick out to me, like seriously, was like probably that the Pepsi thing.
Word. So talk to me about that. We'll go right into that.
I think that,
How did that get started?
so basically, I saw that Pepsi was having this this contest, and like, you know, I got sent it, and like, you know, obviously like I've tried things before, like, you know what I mean, like you're a kid, you see like a little raffle thing, like you're just like, mom, can I, you know, so I did those things. When I tell you I've never won any of those type of things in my life, like I'm talking about school, like, you know, raffles, nothing like that. I've never won one of those ever. Like ever. And I used to be so jealous of people when like, you know, the finally thing, like it comes out, and like, you know, you're a kid, so you're even having dreams about actually winning some shit, like this shit that you're really thinking about, blah blah blah, right? So whatever. I think it was like around like, damn, I forgot when it was, but basically like this is around the time that I'm like, you know, going through these things I'm telling you, and it's just like really like I'm like making it click in my brain, right? So like it finally clicked, and I'm having a hard day because I was doing night shifts at this time, because like, you know, got to make some extra money and stuff. So I'm doing the night shifts, it's a whole different life to me because I've never been up the whole night and watched just the sun come up. So it's different, and like I feel like a little like I'm just out of it, and I felt like I was out of it. So I'm just sitting there and I'm playing J. Cole because like that's what like brings me up, like, you know what I mean? So I'm just sitting there and I'm praying. Like I literally remember praying, and then boom, I'm getting a call, and I think it was I forgot where it was. North Carolina. It was North Carolina, right? I'm getting a call from North Carolina, and then I see I pick up the phone. And they're like, "Is this Wntrbrk?" And I'm like, I don't know why. It just like I knew from like right then, like I knew it, like. And then I was just like, yeah, and they're like, yeah, like this is like Pepsi, blah blah blah, and I'm like, no way, like I really just like got this shit like for real, like. So I was like, that brought up everything, and I think like that's after that day, like, you know, we could go more into it, but like after that day, I think it really brought it to me, like that was God showing me like I am gonna fucking like I'm gonna do this shit, like, you know what I mean, like I'm gonna have my bad days, I'm gonna do this, but I am going to fucking get there, like, you know what I mean. So that kick-started everything. Like it was like I'm over there, I'm at the studio in New York. They bring me out there for 3 days, and I'm literally in Times Square in this like nice hotel, like in the like fucking 40 like it's floor or something, like, and like you just see everything, and I'm just like remembering being young, and like when I thought I wanted to move to New York, when I like, you know, you're young as hell and you just go to New York and you love it. And at that time, I remember being like, yo, like I want to be in one of those hotels, and like I really was in that shit, like, you know what I mean, like. And I feel like I put myself in that position and was like, yo, like I really do deserve this shit, like, you know what I mean, like I deserve this shit for real, because like ever since I was young, I had this vision that I even have at 25. When I was like 6 years old rapping to those people on the block, like I had the same vision, and I like it really clicked in my brain, and I was like, yo, not only do I deserve this shit, like I'm gonna fucking get this shit, like, you know.
Facts. Nah. So why don't we pause there real quick, because I have a couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
So getting that call, right? Oh wait, actually, number one, how did you even like submit, like, you know, do this contest? Like, is it just like you just submit your name, email, and type shit, or did you have to submit some of your work, or like, you know, like what did you have to do?
So basically, it was like you had to, you know, write your name. You had to write, you know, you just do the regular information. Then you do your artist stuff. So it's talking about like what's your name, and then you got to send in a song, and then you also have to send in a video, like an actual video, and like you can see it actually if you go on the YouTube thing, like that thing that that video that's like on the couch, like that was actually like part of my submission, and it was like you just had to write about like your biggest barriers that you faced, like, you know what I mean. So in that, I just wrote about like all the barriers, like, and I told, like I've just said how like it's like really bringing that, like being like marketing yourself and stuff, and yeah, so you send in your song, you send in that, and then they picked out of like 800 people with like their own stories, and it just like happened.
That's sick. That's sick. So what did they say on that call? Did they just say like you're accepted, or did they explain to you everything that was like, you know, going to happen?
Well, before that day, like I will say, like I did get another call that said like I was like in like the top something, like I forgot what it was, but it was this guy, like, and he was mad cool, but even that was cool, but it was still like a very big number. So it was like I still didn't have that, like I don't like to get myself like anyway, like, you know what I mean. So it was very much like oh yeah, like that's cool, like, you know, like they're fucking with my music and stuff, but yeah, so I got that call. And they're like, yeah, so we're just gonna do a background check, blah blah blah. So I'm like, yeah, like it's all good. And then like, yeah, that's when I got that call. And then it was like actually like, yeah, like we got you this hotel, blah blah blah. And like, damn, even just thinking about it now, like that shit really brings like, bro, like that's like that was a really big time in my life. You know what I mean? Like you grow up, we're watching Pepsi and shit. Like, bro, like that it's crazy to me to think that like Pepsi has me on their thing. Like you go on their like little link thing and it says Pepsi Wntrbrk, like, and like I'm one of those links. Like it's just crazy. Like that's the soda that everybody's drinking, and I'm just like randomly with them. Like how the hell? But we're here.
I'm more of a Coke. I'm not gonna lie, but like,
bro, I don't.
No, Pepsi gonna
I
get
saw your face. I knew you had something. I knew you had something. You were
Yo, you knew my face too well.
You're like,
you know?
I'm more of a Coke guy.
Nah, bro. Pepsi wants to sponsor podcast. Let's go. Nah, I'm playing.
Pepsi,
But,
I got your back, yo. I'm not gonna let them talk bad on you.
But you know, I really want the listeners to understand like the timeline of how this happens, because sometimes with these things they happen really quick,
Yeah.
and it's on the flip of a dot, or sometimes the production is very long and they take their time with it. So around what time did you submit the audition?
Oh my gosh, this is like crazy. I'm trying to remember when I really did. I'm really bad with dates, bro.
Nah, you're good, bro.
Like I think
Ballpark.
I feel like it was at the end of last year.
Word.
Like no joke, actually, damn, like it was a while back. Yeah, so that's actually a good point you're making, because this shit really took a while. Like it really took a while for the whole thing, to the point that I actually forgot about. That's why I'm saying like I forgot I submitted. Like, and I'm wondering like, yo, how can I be so forgetful of this right now? And it's literally because of that, because it took so long that I forgot I submitted for Pepsi, and then they gave me a call about like doing a background check, and I'm like, oh damn, like yeah, like I forgot. Yes, thank you, I did submit for Pepsi, and it's just like crazy. So like, but yeah, it was around like the end of last year, around there, I think. And even then, like I'm very like not knowing, because like it really did take a while. I'm sorry. I wish I could go off into that like part more, because
Nah, you good, you good. So then by the time you got the call and they told you we got this hotel, right? So they around the end of last year, right? When was it that they actually got you into that hotel?
Damn, when was that? Why do I feel like it was sometime in November, I think? You're about to make me check on my phone.
Nah, yeah, I mean, if you want, bro,
Yeah,
you can do it. You can do whatever you want, bro. We chilling, man. We chilling.
Hold up. We're about to check right now.
Do you have your phone or no?
Where is my phone?
It's not a big deal if you don't have it, bro.
Nah, I got it right here. I'm gonna find out, because I like it is very like relevant. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it means a lot, and I want people to know that, because of the way I viewed it before. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm a very impatient person. Like I just want to do stuff. Like, you know what I mean? But like with this stuff, it does take time. Like, you know what I mean? And like that's the biggest like proof of it, because I literally forgot about this whole thing, and I'm like just going on with it, and then it does happen, and then like it's like, you know, you're happy about it because it finally did happen, but then the days come, doop doop doop, and then it's done. Like, you know what I mean? So the actual process of finding the people, and then when they get their production ready, and then the making of the video, like all that is the like really long part, and then you get there. But like when you're doing it, you're just doing it, and it's the 3 days, and then it's like done. Like, you know?
Yeah, dude, nah. It's patience is a virtue, man, because it's wild. I think it's like a lot of the people, you know, the artists have their own patience, right? And it's like I feel like what a lot of people don't understand is like the full process of making something happen. Like how to make a set happen, how to make a video shoot happen,
Exactly.
how to make a song come out. Most people don't even know. You know, you record with a recording engineer, then you have to mix it, then you have to master it, then you go over revisions, and then boom, you got your final master, right? I think and also even like, for example, photo shoots, even setting this up, you know, like it'll take me about like an hour, you know, to really like set something up, even just like this, you know, set up the lights, set up the camera, make sure the
takes
SD
time.
cards. Yeah, it takes a lot of time for sure. And even getting everybody scheduled together is another thing, man. And it's rough, bro. It's definitely rough.
I found the day. So in March is when we actually got there. Like is when I first actually got there. It was actually March 1st. That's when I actually got there to start the next day, and then we were there for 3 days. And then before then, like it had to be like, yeah, you see, like around October, I think even like is when I actually submitted. Like now that I'm really thinking about it, or even like September, around there, September, October, November, one of those 3. So like it really did take like a really long time, like, you know what I mean? And then like you're just like going with it, and it's just crazy, because like this is the part that it's like we kind of deal with as creatives, like, you know what I mean? Like the ability to pass all the work you do, like, you know what I mean? Like look at like this set right here. Like nobody know, like they're just gonna watch it and then it happens and like, you know what I mean? But like this really does take time, like for you to set up these mics, for you to plug in these things. And like even with like, you know, when I drop music, it's just like, you know, people are like, yo, when are you gonna drop the next song? Blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like I'm actually dropping this one, right? So then I drop this and I just dropped this, right? Next week, I'm gonna have somebody be like, yo, like, come, like when you gonna have, you know, like it's just like, bro, like you don't like, you know, like it's just stuff like that. And it's just like, that's the downside is that like as creatives, like I can respect like what you're doing here and just know like, yo, like this really does take time and I see the art in it and then you could do the same. But like the people that we need the most cannot. And that's why I think this is such a demanding industry that we're in.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's even a great example, and we'll get back to your story. I had this one of my good friends that I graduated with. He recently had like a once in a life opportunity, and he's actually studying under a mastering engineer. Mastering engineer's name is Randy Merrill, and he does Ariana Grande, Adele, Coldplay, like a whole bunch of like music greats go to him for their mastering of their whole album. And he was even telling me, he was like, he's like, no, sometimes these artists come through and they want him to master the whole album, you know, in like 2 days or a day. And this man will go into the cave, and he's a mastering engineer. So once you get to the level of like master, it's like, you know, you next level. You basically God. You godly, right? Godly, right? And it's like, dude, he'll go into the cave and just knock it out in the night, dude.
Sheesh.
He'll knock it out in the night, because if he doesn't, you know, the label, the A&Rs, no, somebody else to do it. You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
And it's that simple. I mean, they charge. He charges the correct price, you know, for whatever. And it's a lot. It's a lot. You know what I mean? But like,
I bet for 2 days too.
Yeah.
But like, you see, like that's the other thing is that like I just feel like that's why like, you know, everybody be like having their things and like, you know, I'm not any like, you know, label blah blah blah, but it's just like this isn't ran by musicians, like, you know what I mean? Like this isn't ran by musicians, this isn't consumed by musicians. And it is because like, you know, you listen to music, I listen to music, but the people that we need for us to like want to come to shows and for them to like, you know, really be inspired by your thing and for you to be able to have success in like whatever you're doing, they're not musicians. And like that's why it's like so hard for like you to get the respect you rightfully need. Like, you know what I mean? That's why it's hard for people to respect you and be like, yo, like I want a feature from you. And then when you say your price, no matter if it's like, you know, you're starting off and you're saying like even a quick 100, there's like, yo, who do you think you are? It's like, no, who do you think you are, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like this is what I take serious just the same way you take your job serious. Like imagine me going to Cinnabon and being like, you know, let me get one of those. They're like, all right. I'm like, I give them $2 and they're like, oh no, it's you know, whatever. I'm like, no, who do you think you are? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo.
Although, you know what? I guarantee there's probably somebody who came up to Cinnabon at some point and posted some shit like that.
Bro, I've dealt with it. Like, you know what I mean? And I felt that like, bro, who is this guy?
Bro, I don't even want to know.
Get this guy out of here.
I don't even want to know what inflation has done to the Cinnabon prices. Cause I remember they were going up already when I was leaving. That was years ago. You know what I mean?
I went back over there so I could get like actually, you know, some money in my pocket. You know, I was working with the manager and everything, and like that, it's crazy. It was crazy, bro.
Yeah, dude. Much love to Cinnabon, bro. Shout out to Cinnabon.
Shout out to Cinnabon, bro. I don't give a fuck. One day I'm gonna be big as fuck, and I'm gonna do some shit at Cinnabon, and I'm gonna make them hella fucking money because it's gonna be Wntrbrk and Cinnabon. Watch. Mariella's a real one, yo.
Yeah, Mariella's the fucking best, bro. Name drop you, Mariella.
Yeah.
I love you. So let's go back to this story, man. So you pull up to New York, you in this hotel the first night. What do they tell you from there? Like, what's the process, and what do you know at this point that you're gonna be doing?
So when I first got there, it basically just got a rundown. It was just like, you know, the Uber's gonna pick you up, and the day you get there, like you just like chill. You know, you could get settled and you could play your stuff away and like, you know, do what you want. Then the next 2 days are gonna be to be in the studio all day. Like it was literally 10 to 10. Like, you know,
Sick.
yeah, like you're in there and you're grinding. So like, yeah, we did that, and we're just working, like, you know, close with like, you know, Pierre and our sound engineers, the writers, and yeah, bro. Like it was like really like a cool experience because like it's really like set up, and it was cool to be able to be like, all right, like this is how it's gonna go, you know, because as independent creatives and like people that are just starting off, we really don't have schedules. We're just like really getting to this shit, you know. But in that, it was cool to really see how it really goes, like, you know what I mean. And that's why I really do encourage people to like just like step out their comfort zone with this stuff, like with anything, you know, because like I never would have thought like Pepsi would be like where I would like kind of like go with my music, because like you said, like I make a lot of like different type of music, and I'm really trying to bring out the stuff that I feel now, instead of being like, oh, this is a hit. Like I want to do the stuff that like, nah, like I'm gonna show you why Wntrbrk is Wntrbrk. So the fact that I was doing that, like, it was really cool because it's like I'm showing that side of me, but then I'm also working on like a real schedule and being like, all right, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and it set me up so now that I know, like, even with this, like, you know, we said this was gonna happen, I'm running on a schedule, you know, I'm gonna get this done at this time, like that's how it should be, you know.
Yo, and actually, yo, props to you, dude, because no offense to any of the other people who come on the Ayoo Show podcast, but
yo, that face.
But being on time is, I think, like the most crucial behind being talented, putting hours into the studio. Anybody could work, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can work. Anybody.
And
not everybody could be on time.
Yo,
it's wild.
I will say this too, like it's a process, because I know there's gonna be people that watch this, and if I don't say this right now, they'll be like, yo, get out of here, because I know I'm not the best with like even like texting, scheduling. Like, bro, I hate my phone. I hate everything, bro. Like I hate Instagram. I hate things that like I just feel like I'm like, why? Like, you know what I mean? Like I could be doing so much more, and like you know, as creatives, we like really make ourselves get into that, and like, you know, I'm content with knowing that I will fucking probably be on that shit for a long time, but it's like I really don't like it, so I stay off of it. But you know, even with that Pepsi thing, I was late, like really late for the second day. The third day I was good, but like the second day, like I was really late, but it was like because like, you know, the phone things and stuff, but it is a process, you know. But in that,
did they rip you?
They didn't rip me, but they were like playing, they're like, oh, Wntrbrk, like, you know. Dang. They're like, like, you know, like they're playing around and stuff, but like, you know, I told them like, you know, like I know, like, you know, we were playing around about it, but like I don't want you to think like, you know, I'm not appreciative of this and like that. I think like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like, you know, I explained it to them because it is a big thing to be like on time. And if you're not on time, like it's very like you got to own up to your stuff, because that's the only way you're going to get better, you know? And I know how much like I want to be a good scheduler, bro. I got a calendar. Naya over here bought me a calendar, bro. She hates that I'm not good with texting.
That's the number one, bro. Like, getting good with your calendar, bro. Writing stuff down, writing your thoughts down.
Literally yesterday, she was like, "Oh, what time is the podcast?" And I didn't know off the top of my mind. I looked at the calendar and I was like, yo, look at me. Look at bro, I don't look at the calendar.
Adulting and shit.
Adulting and shit. Who the fuck shit, you? Bro.
It's crazy. And sometimes it's funny, dude. Even the other day, man, it's funny because I have a schedule for the podcast, right? Mm-hmm. I have a schedule for my personal life. Yeah, this is next level adulting.
Nah, that's this
I
need
is
that,
but yeah. No, you'll get there. You'll get there. And it's crazy because I have my Google calendars. Most things I like writing down, and for certain things I do have written down, and you'll see in my office after like how I've organized the whole June and Jersey shit. But I'm actually really good for some reason with my online calendar. Usually I don't like online shit, and I know a lot of other people need physical stuff, but I'm really good with my online calendar. And it's funny, I didn't get my Google calendars to sync up with my business and my personal to look at each other, and I accidentally put something on my business that should have been personal. So I wake up to a text that was like, hey, you have a doctor's appointment in 15 minutes, right, from the automated thing. And I was like, fuck, this shit's 15 minutes away. I was like, so I got up, bro. I didn't even take a shower, bro. Dick stank, you know what I mean? Whatever the fuck.
Yo. Dick stank.
Put on my pants, you know what I mean? I'm out of here, you know what I mean? And I was like, damn, I hope she don't do a full body scan, bro.
You're going to knock her out. She's going to be like, God damn. God damn.
What's that bump doing on the head of your peanut?
Yo,
like, don't worry about it.
It's been a long night. in a crazy morning.
It was one time, bro.
Long nights and crazy mornings.
Found
I
out
gotta
she was a
remember
he.
that
You
first
know what I
song.
mean? I don't judge. What?
Yo, we were on two different songs right there.
It's June, bro. It's June, bro. We appreciate everything in
Yo.
June. We got love in June, bro. Hella love in June.
Hella
bro.
love in June.
But
Yo, that shit is
so
great.
tell me about going into that studio the first time. Was it a specific studio or was it kind of like a
Yeah.
low key studio?
It was Quad Studios.
Word.
So off the bat, I was hyped as hell because that's actually like, you know, where like there's legends like have came out, you know, and it's cool to really like go back because, you know, rest in peace. That's actually where Tupac got shot. Like, I don't know if you know,
Oh,
but
no way.
bro, you want to know some wild shit, bro? We go in there in the elevator, bro. Do you know that those bullets are in the wall?
Are they?
Bro, like the bullet holes are in the wall.
Could you see it? Like, did they?
Bro, they're like there's holes and there's bullets in
Did they just leave them, or did they make them into like a type museum and shit? Like,
I don't know. I'm trying to think like, yo, I wonder if they left it because they're like, this is history, or if like, you know, maybe some crazy shit happened, or like if I don't know, but it was just cool because like to me, I'm looking at it like, yo, they probably left that in there because it was like, yo, like rest in peace, Tupac. Like these are Tupac.
Yeah, that's history.
Yeah, but it like to be honest, it really inspired me because it's like I'm just ready. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm at an age, like I'm at a time in my life where like I know what I bring. Like, you know what I mean? And like, bro, that's a real feeling. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like I used to say it a lot before. Like, you know, and I feel like that's why a lot of my growth that I've like even talking to you about, like even this whole time right now, is that real click. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody thinks they found that click, but nah, bro. Like I found that real click, and I think it came from being that low in my life. Like, you know, like I'm not afraid to say it, bro. Like I was going through, I think the hardest time I've dealt with in my life. At that time, at the end of last year, it was the craziest thing. Like not having a car, not having a job, like bro, the list, bro. I'm not even. It's just crazy, you know what I mean? So it's just like you deal with all this stuff, and then it's like you have a mission though. Like you like that right there just made it like boom, where it's just like I felt like I went into survival mode, and like I've been stuck on that because like I found this like inner me that was like, nah, like you thought you were a grinder before, bro, like you're about to see the craziest side of you. And like, bro, like even my friends like say like they see it, and like I've had this conversation because it's like, bro, like it really clicked, and like I feel like I reached that time. So I went on American Idol before. I've tried to do these things, and I feel like my energy shows it that I'm not ready for this type of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't blame like anything that's ever happened because it only made me better, you know? But this time, like I went in that studio and I felt like my energy was like felt by everybody in there. Like I left that, bro, like that end of that day, there's nothing that told me that like everybody in there didn't feel like they felt my presence, like for real. Like, yo, that like, that's Wntrbrk, bro. Like that nigga is gonna be like fucking wild. Like, and I really feel like I brought that to everybody in there. And like, it's a different feeling to know that like, yo, like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I know what I'm bringing. Like, I don't feel any way towards anything. Like, I can make an ass, like, melody right now, but watch how I flip that shit and it turns into the best thing that you've heard. Like, you know what I mean? And, like, I feel like that sense of, like, self brings you to a different sense of, like, I got this, you know? And I feel like that's what I dealt with. So, bro, I went in that studio and I really just showed them who I am and who I've always been. Like, you know? And, like, that's the hardest part. You always have this thing in you, but like it's hard to bring it to people because like, you know, you're very timid and like, you know, you believe in you, but like it's different when you like you go in there and you're like, nah, like this is it.
So were there any feelings before going into that like, you know, made you nervous, or did you feel like you were just headstrong and ready to like attack this?
Bro, I was nervous as fuck. Like, you know, like I was nervous as fuck, but it's just like it's something about this that like I know like I'm made for this because I've noticed from like the beginning, even when I like had like my high school talent shows, bro, like when I'm nervous as fuck before because like that's Chris. Like, you know what I mean? That's Chris, and like Chris is not good in like big crowds. I don't like Chris doesn't like to be like in big things. Like when I'm home, like and I'm like doing my thing, like I'm very to myself. Like, you know what I mean? But like Wntrbrk, bro, like Wntrbrk is is made for music. Like, you know what I mean? So like, bro, like I noticed like I'll be scared as fuck, but then once everything hits me, that adrenaline hits me, the music is in my, like, it turns into like this, like my passion in it, and like that takes away everything, like everything, bro. So it was just like, that's exactly what I felt there. Like I just saw how real it was. Like I'm sitting, like, you know, they're like Wntrbrk, and they're like, oh yeah, like, you know, just in this chair, they're doing like a little thing so that I'm not like shiny and shit, because I fucking be shiny all the time. My ugly ass face.
I'm probably shiny right now. I was shiny before this.
You make me nervous. It's like that, but like,
nah,
yeah,
I
bro,
completely
like,
understand that, and it's crazy. I've talked about it on the podcast before. Like, even these podcasts, dude, like I get mad nervous. Even like with my friends, you know, even with like, you know, people I don't even know, it's even worse, you know, because I'm always like, you always be wanting to put the best product out ever, you know, and you you get nervous sometimes of the way people look at you, and or the way people fuck with you. Anyway, back to my. Yeah, I can't. I fucking can't.
Yo, when I tell you that I am going to make the meanest cut, like with this shit, bro, like I'm, yo, let this be the thing that remembers, yo, I'm going to make a fire TikTok with this. Be like, you get scared about the way people do this or fuck with you. I don't. Like, I'm gonna wild out right here. That's just great.
But my point being, like, being able to be your most authentic self, not care how people think about you, and also, you know, strive for the best. Like, that's the trifecta right there. You
Exactly.
know? And I think at the end of the day, you know, like when it comes to performing, when it comes to meeting new people, you know, if you really have been working on this, it'll show. And I think that's exactly what you were saying before.
Yeah.
You know, you can't leave that place and be like, they don't feel me. It's not like they don't know who I am. So why don't we dive into that a little bit too? For the people who don't understand, especially for artists who are trying on the come up, or you never know, some artists, you know, I feel like you're in a very fortunate position because it's like you've been working at this, you know, you've been working at this, you know how the game works. We've been there in places where it's super not professional, you know what I mean? Painting those I'll never forget that, dude. I know I talked about it last time.
Nah, that's
but like painting the studio at like 2:00 in the morning. I'm half asleep on the couch. I'm like, bro, what are we doing?
Yo, word, bro.
And then that weird dude. I was talking about him the other day actually. That guy who had the giant studio and he just covered the whole room in foam. I'm
bro,
like,
it's so funny that you really like that's like a core memory of yours because like it's just funny like how like, bro, I be so into like, I'm very into like how like what I think about, and then I try to figure myself out a lot. So I don't know, it's just something about knowing that like everybody has this own like movie that they're the like star in that it like intrigues me, bro. Like, so it's just like I love hearing Naya's stories about like the way she thinks. So I'm just like, it always like clicked to me, like was so funny to me that like, bro, I have a lot of memories of that studio, bro. But like you remember this part of it that I rarely be thinking about, but when I think about it again, it's like funny as hell, like because like it is true, like we're just all some like grinding kids trying to figure this shit out to the point that we're painting my studio thing and that shit looks crazy fucked up, and then like this guy has the padding everywhere, that shit looks like I'm like, yeah, bro.
And it wasn't even like no offense to him. I don't know who he is or
nah,
like,
yeah, that's my guy, bro. Like, well,
right?
I don't talk to him every day, but I fuck with him. I fuck with his music. I fuck with his motive. I fuck with his hustle. So I have no problem saying, because like, bro, what the hell? Like, we know like what this shit's about. Like, you know, so
that shit was wild.
and it's nothing coming at it. It's just like, bro, that shows our fucking like how we were going about this. Like, you know, like everybody's just like, yo, like I need a studio and I'm about to make it like with whatever I find. So
for the artists who don't know, you know, all right, you're past the pleasantries, you know, you talk, introduce, cool as Pierre Bourne, mixing people, they fix your, you know, your makeup, whatever, not making you shiny, whatever, right?
Yeah.
What does the work look like? What does the workflow look like? You know, who's in there and who's helping make your shit happen?
So we got my guy Ryan, and that's the sound engineer I was paired up with, and then we got also a writer that I was with too. And it's crazy because like I met them and like we clicked because like it's just like I don't know, like I just feel like I'm a big believer that like yo, like this stuff is happening to me for a reason. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like everybody meets people for a reason, and I feel like you meet like certain people at certain times for things that like, you know, we won't understand but we need at that time. You know, everything happens like for a reason. So it's just crazy. I click with these people and it's just like work. Like I feel like I really get into that mode because I usually do all my music like by myself, you know? So I do a lot of my stuff in my room and I'm just really to myself. But this time I felt a different type of comfortability, and I think it's because like I just told you, I went through so much stuff and it clicked in my brain, and now I'm here and it's like, yo, I'm going to do this because this is a blessing that I'm here and I'm not about to let it go. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like that mindset off the bat. I think I just brought that energy, and I always try to bring like a very appreciating and respectful energy to everybody, because I believe that if the energy is very there, like where it's like you feel you're most comfortable, that's gonna set up for the best outcome. So like, you know, I'm talking to the writer and it's crazy because the reason I'm telling you that it's like I'm paired up with these people and it feels the best is because I meet D Gotti. Her name is D Gotti, the writer, bro. Fire ass writer. Please look up D Gotti. Everybody. Deeggatti. Fucking fire. But you know, I see her in that room, you know, everybody's like, you know, talking before we get this like, you know, rundown of like everything. And I see her and I just like, you know, go to her and I'm like, yo, like I'm Wntrbrk, blah, blah, blah. And she's D Gotti, blah. And we're just talking. And I see that we're very alike. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I see that we're both very introverted with like our craft. Like, you know, I sensed that she had like this very creative side. Like, I just knew that she had to make some fire music. Like, it, you know, like you just feel like, you know, like you see somebody and they gotta be fire at whatever they do. I didn't even know she was an artist. I was just like, greeting everybody and being like, because I'm happy as fuck to be there, you know? So, and then it turns out we're going to be paired up together. And then, boom, we already got that, like, rapport in there. Like, we got that in where we know each other. Then it just, like, I met Ryan and, you know, I met Pierre and everything. But then we just start working right there. Like, you know, Pierre's going around and he's doing his thing. But, yeah, I'm paired with Ryan D. Gotti and we're listening to the beats and we're just throwing out ideas. Like it turns into like fully work, and like it's hard to like even like really say because it's like hours of literally just that. Like we're just in it, and it's like making melodies, like being there, just saying stuff, and then he's messing with the effects, and like we're just creating.
How much do you feel like of your input, besides like obviously like yourself and your singing, do you feel like you put into the song? You know, because I think this is an important thing to bring up, because more recently, especially through talking to all these artists, there's some artists who are very just like, don't touch my shit. I'm gonna mix it. I'm gonna master it. I don't want to hear your ideas. You know what I mean? Like, or they'll hear an idea, they'll be like, oh, that's cool, and just completely disregard it and keep going. And I feel like the more that I look deep into the industry, not that there's anything wrong with that. There's definitely a time and place where it's like, this is your baby, give it to me. You know what I mean? And however you exactly want it, you want it. But I think people forget that real beauty can come through collabing, you know what I mean? And through getting different ideas and getting multiple writers and getting different heads in it. So like, how much did you say like piece of the cake everybody put in to like make it happen?
So I will say this is that since I am used to doing a lot of my own music, and I feel like I have this sound that is very different, because I would literally go to studios, bro, and they will fuck with my stuff, bro. This is literally why I started getting into mixing and even doing my own production, because there's right ways of doing stuff sometimes, and it's like I don't want that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking for a right. Like, I'm not looking for, oh no, this is what, you know, you're used to doing because this will make it, like, no. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like when it came to that, I really did start doing this by myself because of why I can like do the things that people were trying to stop me from doing. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think as I got older, it turned into me like not wanting to hear people's stuff. But then like, it is true. Like as I'm like now progressing in this, and I feel like I see this music stuff for like even different, like, you know, like it's something that like, you know, like it was like I started realizing like everybody has art like to them, like, you know what I mean? Like everybody has these different like perspectives, and like if you look at it one way, it's like, damn, like, you know, like I'm not trying to have this because I want it this way. But then if you switch that thought, it's like, bro, everybody has different perspectives. So like if I really like take what I'm thinking and I show them this, and they're like, they put their input in, like, bro, like what, like that's fire. Like if you think about it, like you can hear what's in my head and then think of something, and we could do that. And I think that really clicked for me, and I think I had a new sense of awareness of being able to like have that lenient side that's like, yo, let me trust these people. Like, you know what I mean? I'm paired with these people for a reason right now. That's not to say that I'm over here like vibing with everything, because now I'm the first person to say like I'm not vibing with it. Like, you know what I mean? And that's because I do trust myself. Like, you know what I mean? I trust myself as an artist because I put in the years, I put in the work to be able to feel like I know what sounds good and what sounds bad, whether you feel like you know everything about music or not. Like if I don't like it, like I don't like it, you know? But I am very in tune with knowing that sometimes there's things that you won't understand. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm open to the thought of like, yo, maybe this is actually fire. If it gives me that feel like I don't understand it, I want to leave it there. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so I feel like that's what like everything happened with D Gotti and like Ryan. Like we were just very like in an open space. Like it felt like everybody knew what they're doing, but like everybody was open to like their creative side. And I feel like that's a beautiful thing that now I'm learning to bring out, like making you feel like, bro, like that thought you had, like, bro, embrace that shit. If that shit is ass, bro, embrace the fuck out of it, because you thought of that. And now like, why did you think of that? Like, where did you actually see it going? Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's go off of that. And if we can't, like, now you made another like starting point for us to keep making ideas. So I think that's where like it came from. And like to really answer your question, I think everybody had like, in a way, like 100% like of just feeling like themselves for the song. You know what I mean? Like I really feel that way, because like even D Gotti, like I remember we first started working on this song and she's like, oh yo, I wrote some shit. And then she's humming it and you could tell like she's not vibing with it as much. I'm like, yo, that's fire. Like I was like, that's fire. And then boom, by the end of the day, bro, we over here like, like just vibing to it. And that just goes to show like we're our biggest critic. Like we need that second hand, because like I be thinking of things that like, yo, I would never put out this song. And then Night hears this like, yo, you have to finish this. And then like I finish it and then everybody fucking like loves this stuff. And it's because like we're our biggest critic. And I understand that everybody else also has this little inner critic in them. And I want everybody to take that out as much as possible when I'm working with them, because I feel like that is the biggest negative thing about us, like when it comes to this. Because like why we're already putting ourselves in a position to do what we love. Why am I gonna stop like myself from thinking? Like why am I gonna stop myself from thinking? Like, you know what I mean? Like what, like even if it turns out ass, like bro, I be in the booth and I be saying like shit that's just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't care if I'm there like I'm saying nothing. I'm blabbering, like, and it sounds cringy sometimes. Like, even me, like, I stop myself, but I'm constantly in that thought of like, stop judging yourself. There's no one here. Like, no one, that's your inner mind, like, coming at you and telling you, bro, you sound stupid. Do you really think you're gonna come with something with that? Like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not real. So I think like that's like I wanted everybody to feel like, yo, you're fire. Let's fucking make some fire. And like I gave everybody that creative. They gave me that creative space, and like that's why it turned into like what it did. Sorry, that was a very long answer.
Nah,
dude,
like, that was very fucking well said. There's so many times I want to interrupt and just be like, yo, and then it's like I was like, I gotta hold back. I gotta let him finish.
I'm sorry.
Nah, dude, that was really well said. You know, and even to expand on that a little bit, man. For sure. Even hearing you talk about that, you know, I think every artist, if you were listening to what he just said, start it again from when I asked the question and listen to that shit like 5 fucking times, because that shit is so hard to be reminded to yourself. And also working with these people in the industry, and like, yeah, dude, like, you know, some people are gonna say, yeah, Pierre Bourne, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, yo, Pierre, like, you know, and people get fucking like, they put these people on a pedestal, but they put these people, they're humans, you know what I mean? They're just like everybody else. I guarantee. I don't even know. I'm assuming. Tell me if I'm wrong. But after sitting in there working with them for a day, after working on your music, didn't they just seem like regular people who all just have the same vision for music?
Bro, they are literally that. And me and I talk about that all the time. Like, these people are literally just like you. The only difference is they have that security of being like this is a very good example. You won't go, and I'm gonna just use Cinnabon because like it's just funny. I feel cringy keep doing that, but
No,
it's just
bro,
like,
still.
bro, like I won't, like, if you were working there, like I won't go over there trying to tell you something about it. Like, you know what I mean? You have that security knowing, like, bro, I work here. Like, why are you gonna like make, like, when somebody's like, oh, this isn't supposed to be this, like, how are you gonna tell me? Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like that security is what they have. You know what I mean? We don't have that security because it's like we don't know if we're going to get to that point yet. And that's what stops us a little bit. But even them sometimes, like, you can see like they feel that way a little bit. But bro, like, I feel like Pierre, like with Pierre, it was like cool because like he really is himself. And I said this in the Pepsi thing. And like, I feel like I've met a few people. I haven't met like, you know, a lot of people, but I've met like, you know, a few people and they're doing their thing, like, you know what I mean? And it's just like there's this sense of like, yo, like I don't know how to explain it, but like, to go back to like Pierre, it just feels like he is somebody that loves music. He's somebody that loves music, that came from a real story of like loving music and wanting to do this, and it shows, bro. Like, there's people that do this and they're like they're just doing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, bro, like I'm out here, but like, it's just like not like that. And it's just like, bro, I think I've just been in this stuff for so long that I feel like I see genuine music, art, and love. Like, I see the real, like, I know when somebody is a real musician, like somebody that really puts in the time to like, and like not even puts in the time because it's like a job, but puts in the time because this is their passion. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like I know what that is. And like, he is literally that like type of person, but that doesn't mean like, you know, he goes through this thing of like, you know, like not having that, like, you know, that little side, that like that little inner voice, you know, because like I went to the studio with him after, like he invited me to like the studio like after, and you know, we're just chilling there, and like he's like, I don't know if I should, like, it was just like, he really just like is a real person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what people have to remember. Like, bro, these people are real people, like, and they go through the same thing you do. And I think that's why I've been always so intrigued by like the human mind, because we sometimes get in this thought that like it's just us. Yeah. We're not good enough. We're like, we have this inner thought like this is supposed to, no, like everybody goes through this type of thing. And it's just like so cool to just remember like, yo, like Pierre, like I really fuck with him because he doesn't have a problem showing that side of him. And you can see it even inside that Pepsi thing. Like, he has no problem showing that side of him that's like, yo, I love music. You know, like, people can't take this away from me. Like, no matter what, like, you know, because even him, like, Pierre slept on his fuck, bro. Like, bro, you go look up a Pierre concert after this shit and then try to tell me that Pierre isn't out up here doing his shit. But then if you go to somebody that doesn't, they'll be like, yo, he's, you know, but people just don't know. Like,
facts.
You know what I mean? But
Facts.
but he has no problem showing that real, like, musician, like, nah, this is passion, and that's why I really fuck with him. But these people are regular people doing the same thing as you. Like, you know what I mean? These people are the same people that feel that little inner voice in their head. They're the same people that feel like they don't want to wake up and do this thing. Like, there's people that feel like their music isn't good enough. There's music, like, you know, like, they go through the same thing that we go through. It's just they have more cameras on them when they're having good days than we do. Like, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely fucking feel that. You know, I'm gonna leave this Pepsi story alone. I think we've talked about it enough. Although I think we got a lot of fucking great stuff from it, though.
Nah,
for sure.
hell yeah, bro.
And you know, to be honest, I'm probably gonna ask you more questions off camera about it, just because I like seeing the process, and you know, dealing with all these different artists too. It's dope, you know, to see everybody's different processes. What I do wanted to ask, even though we kind of talked about the story before, but for the real people who don't want to go back to episode 1, I do want to get to your name, your artist name, Wntrbrk. I know you explained it before on the podcast, but you know, it's a nice camera.
Nah, yeah.
Can you explain to people why Wntrbrk? And actually, for people who don't know, right? Bro, this is funny. I remember. Don't think I forget these conversations that we had. Shout out Kid Catastrophe.
Oh, I knew it. Yo, I knew it.
Shout out Kid Catastrophe.
I was looking at you and I'm like, yo, he's not about to say Kid Catastrophe.
Shout out Kid
Oh, my
Catastrophe.
God.
I'm not gonna talk about that because we talked about it on the first episode. Go back, fake ass people. I don't give a shit, bro. Go look.
You don't look it up. Don't look at that
Look it
part.
up. Look it up. Shout out Kid Catastrophe. Shout out XL, right?
Yeah, nah, definitely shout out XL.
Yeah, shout out XL. And then we come here to Wntrbrk, and it feels like Wntrbrk is the mainstay, right? This feels like I don't.
Nah, yeah, definitely.
So talk to me about how the name got to Wntrbrk.
So basically, I feel like it came very like around like actually last year is when I brought it out. Like I'm doing this name change, and it's really because like first of all, like I said, like you know XL, like I made that very young, like you know what I mean. Like I made that, and my mindset like at that time was like I want like no joke. And I think I said it on the last one. I wanted something that I could go into an interview and be like, yeah, this is where my name came from, and it strikes them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thought process. So what did my young mind think could strike people? Take something that, like, Tupac or Biggie said and make that my name. So if you listen to this, like, Biggie song, he's like, I excel. Boom. I was like, yo, that is it. Because I literally got my dad's CDs, and I'm just popping them in, listening to hella Tupac, listening to hella Biggie, waiting for a word that sticks out to me. And then boom, I hear Excel, and I'm like, that's it. But it's just crazy how like just over time, it's just like, I think that's a part about growing. Like, you know what I mean? Like you want to be you to like the fullest, like, you know? And I feel like everybody grows into that. And like, that's why they say like, you know, you're not like your best you until you're 40, because I feel like at like, you know, in our 20s, we're still trying to prove something. In our 30s, you're probably still, and like, once you get older, you're just like, yo, who am I fucking proving shit to? So it's just like, I feel like I would just low-key went through that feeling of just like, that younger me didn't like, I feel like I did what I wanted to do with that. Like, you know what I mean? The Wntrbrk, the XL thing, like I just wanted people to know me in high school. Like I literally said that to myself. Like I had a little checklist, just make a name, like, you know, make some songs, like have school, fuck with you. But
I'm glad you went for it too, man.
Yeah, I knew you were probably gonna do it. So with Wntrbrk, I really I knew I wanted to change my name. So my thought process was like, what is me? Like, what do I really feel like I am? Like, what do I want to bring with my music? What do I want? Like, what do I feel like I am the most? So I just started writing down a list of stuff, right? I just random, like anything that just stuck out to me. So I remember there was like LED lights. I was like neon. I was like blue. I was like snowstorms. I was like late night drives. I was like smoking. And just a whole bunch of different things like that, right? So I'm doing that the whole night, and like at the time I was working with this team, and like I'm working with him, and we're there the whole night, like literally just coming up with just different things. He's like we're just coming up with different things that I feel like is me. I'm taking pictures of things, and like I'm just trying to find inspiration of it because I want it to come naturally. Like, what do I feel like I am? Like, so that night I think I was like it was just so much like that I was thinking about this stuff that I go to sleep. Oh, and I do remember I wrote winter because I love winter time. Like, bro, I love the winter. Like, it's just, I love wearing big clothes, and I love it to be cold. Like, it's just a vibe to me, like, you know, and then, like, it's like, I don't know. But yeah, so I think it just like went into my dream. Like, I remember that in my dream, I was having it was like almost like a nightmare type thing. Like, where it was like, bro, like there was like shootings and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So there's like this whole shooting thing, and I'm driving away, bro. Like, I remember, like, it's like such a core thing in my brain because like this really is why I like wanted the name. Like, and then I saw like winter, it was like winter something Ave or street like that. Like, I remember looking at that. Oh, because Summer Street, you know, Summer Street in Patterson. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember it said Summer Street. So like the whole shooting thing was going on in Summer Street. Yeah. And I guess my brain like just took the opposite and made it like winter something. And bro, over there, bro, like it was so different. Like it, like there was parties going on, and then there was just like people vibing. Like it was just so different. Like, I don't know, like it just like, and then when I woke up, like I remember texting my videographer. I was like, yo, Wntrbrk, that's my name. And he was like, bro, that's actually fire. And then like it was just a funny thing. He's like, yo, where'd you even come up? Like you just wake up and you're winter break now. Like I'm like, bro, like literally, like I went down winter break fucking Ave. I think like I was like, I think I like, and it fucking spoke to me. And I was like, bro, I'm fucking winter break. Like, and I don't know, like it's just like that came to me and it felt so me. Like I love the winter. Winter break was like a crazy ass like time. Like when you think about it, like you know, it's just like a time like I don't know, like it's just such a like a different vibe for me, and I feel like it just really puts in perspective like this like unknown aesthetic that I'm really trying to bring out. Like, you know what I mean? Like it makes people wonder like why. You know what I mean? Like even like I have like whenever I go places and I'm like, yo, but like, you know, winter break, like it everybody's like, yo, what? That's like fire. Like why? Like, you know what I mean? And it strikes this unknown vibe, and it's like I don't even know why, bro. Like I fucking had a dream about being on some winter break, like winter something, and it just came to me, and I ran with it because it felt so me. Like, you know what I mean? Like it felt so natural, and it felt like me, and I felt like just really good about it, and it goes to show, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I just stuck with it, and it's just cool to be able to see like it really have the impact that it had on me when I thought about it. Because when it came in my head, like it's such a weird thing to say. Like you wouldn't just like, so that's why it stuck out to me, and I was like, this has to be like my name, because like why would I wake up and just text them like, yo, winter break, and I typed it in this way, and I'm just like, yo, it has to be this. So I stuck with it, and it like I really feel like it is because it's me, and it just like came to me. Like, you know what I mean? It didn't come from being like, yo, I want my name to be cool on an interview. It didn't come from Tupac and Biggie. Like it came from my mind, you know? So that's where like it really came from, just feeling like this is me.
Yeah, you know, I think coming up with the names and especially the backstory of all of that is one of the craziest things, because switching up a name is probably one of the hardest things to do. And then also, you know, I'm glad that you came out of it and, you know, like that's fire. Because that's so hard to do. You know what I mean? It's hard to, and I think with names is the biggest thing, you know?
Yeah.
When you know true to yourself, you know, it's great. And it's even like, you know, when I was not necessarily that I switched. I think the name thing is always like an interesting concept, because it's also like, you know, what would you rather be called by? Do you like Chris or do you like Wntrbrk? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's hard too, because like how do you introduce yourself? You know, and sometimes when you do go by like, you know, your name, right, or like, you know, your stage name, and you introduce yourself like that, it almost puts you into that separate world, you know? And like, you know, when we were talking before, it's like, you know, you forget that these people are human, right? Yeah, it's funny because some people, I still kind of struggle it with myself, you know? Because some people, they call me Beto, you know what I mean? Some people, they call me Luis or Louis, you know? And I don't know. I always think about, I'm like, yo, you know who I really just want to talk to, whether it's on camera or off camera, like Donald Glover and Childish Gambino. You know what I mean? Because Childish Gambino is alter ego for his music, right? But, you know, he's Donald Glover no matter what anywhere else, right? And it's like, I don't mind at the end of the day. And like, you know, the like background of Beto, you know, is what my mom used to call me. And that's kind of how I went with it. You know, that's it. It's Beto and that's it. One thing I want to talk about, and one of the biggest things that I had for June in Jersey, is the fact that everybody who was on the podcast this month is strictly from Jersey, only Jersey heads. And I think bringing out the talent and bringing out different people is so important, and getting the networking established is important. One thing I always have people talk about, I know you're originally from Patterson, right? I was born in Patterson. I didn't get to live there, you know. I mean, because my parents ended up like, you know, moving to Little Falls and stuff. Yeah. But I always had a really strong connection towards it, because, you know, Little Lima's in there. All my Peruvians are there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And a lot of my friends growing up are all from Patterson. You know, it's the start of, I feel like, a lot of immigrant families or people who are just on the come up. You know what I mean? Definitely. Describe Patterson to me.
It's just very. I really want to like take the time to like, you know, because like it's like I care about Patterson so much, you know, and I have a different like love for like Patterson. Like it's very like it's very like you know, because it's like it's because there's so much like good in Patterson, you know what I mean? But like there's also that side that is just like it could be doing so much better. Like it could be known for like so much better. And it's like it really does hurt me to think that like, you know, Patterson does kind of get this like almost like cold shoulder for like in safety reasons, but like it's known for being like, yeah, like if you're from like you have that sense of like, yeah, like I'm that shit, like, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, why though? Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just a big person, like why does it have to be that, you know what I mean? Like I've always been a person, like even with me, I think that's just like my personality, you know? I've always been the person like, yo, I want you to like respect me like as a person that you feel comfortable around, like you feel like you're safe around, like you feel like you could be yourself around. But don't get it twisted, like I will fuck you up, like, you know what I mean? Like, and it like that's not to seem hard, like, you know what I mean? That's just like I just wish everybody could be like that way, you know what I mean? Like it didn't have to, like you didn't have to meet somebody and it was based off of fear. Like you didn't have to meet someone and be like, yo, I can't mess with him, like, you know what I mean? Like you should have that in a way. You should be able to like be able to like have that come out of you, like where it's just like you don't want to do it because you're respected, like, you know what I mean, not feared, like, you know what I mean? Like you don't get real people.
Fucking facts right now.
So I just feel like that's how I view like Patterson, is like there's so much good in it, there's so many good people, and there's so many people that like, even the people that you think like that, like, and you know, I don't blame anyone, because I will say Patterson is very like hard, like, you know, me growing up in Patterson and wanting to be fully just like a positive person, like, bro, like I fucking love that Good Kid Mad City album, because I felt like that's me. Like I literally feel like I've always just wanted to be fully positive, like everybody, like all my boys from E29, like they all know, like deep in me, like I am like literally like I will not fucking do shit, like, you know, like I will not fucking have you, like I just want to be like everybody to be peaceful. But then they also know like I get fucking crazy, like if shit pops off, like I'm 100% down. But I feel like life taught me to be that way, but you don't have to be that way. Like I'm not gonna teach my kid to be like, yo, be down for anything, because what the fuck, like, bro, enjoy your fucking life. If you don't have to fucking be some way, like, don't. Like, that's like people making you think like, yo, how many fights you been in? Like that's just not cool, bro. Like I don't feel cool telling people about how I almost fucking died at 17. Like, you know what I mean? I don't feel cool about that, because it's like, look at everything I'm doing now. I wouldn't have been on Pepsi. And so it's like, when I think about Patterson, it's just like I have this push and pull feeling, because it's like I love it so much because of like the lessons I learned, but I just feel like there's so much more that could come from it. Like I feel like I want it to be a place that like everyone like doesn't, like, you know, you don't have to want to go there, but it's just like you have this look on it that it's not just like this bad side, like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's like so hard.
It's not. It's
like,
tough, dude. It's tough, and you know, it's a loaded question for sure. I have this weird, insane love for Patterson, dude. Because like my parents, that's where my parents got started. You know? And like I said, it's a love. It's not even a love hate. It's like a love. What the fuck, you know, type feeling. Because I could never hate Patterson, no matter what it does. Yeah. If my car gets robbed or anything, you know. When my parents used to live in Patterson, you know, they lived in, I forget what street they lived on, but my dad's car got broken into 3 times, you know? And then even after that, you know, they were like, fuck it. They're like, we're going to go broke and just move somewhere else. And so they moved to another side of Patterson. And then from there, they moved to Little Falls, right? And then even from Little Falls, you can't get away from the city just because, like, you know, like my dad's like, I'm going to go get a job. It's like, where am I going to go? He's like, I'm going to teach the kids in Patterson, you know? My mom, same way. She's like, I need a job. She's like, where can I go? She's like, she work in the factories in Patterson, you know? And it's like, dude, there's so many beautiful things, beautiful people, man. I mean, like, obviously I connect closer to the Peruvian people, and especially right down Cianci Street, Little Lima, over there. And, you know, like, it's a great area, you know what I mean? But you're there, like, and people, like, freak out sometimes. They're like, oh, you don't got to drive through Patterson with your windows up. And I was like,
yeah, like, it's not like...
It's not that deep. I mean, like...
I understand like security, like I understand security, but it's just like that's what I'm saying. Like, there's, you know,
good people.
There is good people out there, like, you know what I mean.
And there's good things happening too, you know.
And there's good people that are dealing with negative things in their life, and like that's why I just feel like bro, like I have so many like just dreams of like just being able to like really give back. I always think about like what's like my contribution, like
Facts.
what do I want, like, and it's just like, bro, like I'm a like if you ask anybody, I'm the biggest believer that everybody needs therapy. Everybody in the fucking world, bro. I'm the biggest.
Facts.
I'm the bro. No joke. I really feel like that, and I want to get to a time where like, bro, like anybody that wanted that shit that isn't like can't afford it in like Patterson, like that they just could go somewhere. Like I have dreams of just being able to like really give back to like humanity. Like, you know, music is great and bro, that's my passion. Like, you know what I mean? But before I'm an artist, I'm a fucking like human. Like, you know what I mean? Like I want to do shit for like life. Like what, like when I'm gone, like what do I have to like be remembered for? And it's like I don't give a fuck about what I'm remembered about, but it's just like me, I'm just a person that's just like I want to do something for life because I care about it so much, you know? Like I've always looked at the brighter side of things, like, and you know, it does get hard at times because like things just happen, but it's just like I've always seen life for being like so fucking like just like there's so much to do. Like why do people want to like chill on the block so much? Like, you know what I mean? Like why, like I that's literally kept me away from just being this like blockhead of just being like on like just doing nothing, because like bro, like you can be going somewhere, like, you know what I mean? Like when people are like, yo, nah, like, you know, I think I want to like, you know, just like stay here and do this, like, nah, like I'm not trying to do, like, it's just like, yo, like why? Like there's so much beautiful shit out here, like, you know, like I understand wanting to like stay in Patterson, like, you know, like because Patterson, like I said, is a beautiful ass place, and but it's just like there's so much to life, like, you know what I mean? So it's just like I always think about that, like what is my real like contribution? And I just have so many things like I want to do and like I want to like bring to Patterson. Like I want it to be like somewhere that, you know, I can have people from like other places come, and like it's like really like a spot that like, you know, you can show people around, and like it just sucks that like, you know, I'll never forget like my aunt came here from like, you know, down south and everything, and then like you just see somebody like it's just fucked up, like, you know, like I just
you know, bro. Yeah, you know, it's funny. Listen, I'll make you feel more comfortable about if you want to share that, right? Patterson has a funny way of bullshit just happening right in front of you, bro. And I think that's like one of the things that kind of make it what it is. But at the same time, it's like, bro, it's like having like, you know, like a little cousin or a little niece, and they just a little stupid. You know what I mean? And
yo,
like you love them, but
like,
they
damn,
just a
yo,
little
why you
stupid.
gotta be
You know
so
what I mean?
stupid sometimes?
Right? It's just like, damn, they just need a little bit of help. They need some guidance, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, for example, I'll never forget, I was getting a haircut, and it was around like if you go down Cianci and you make your first right onto like Main Street in Patterson, I was at this barbershop. Well, it isn't even a barbershop, it was a salon. I was getting my hair cut at a salon, right?
Yeah.
Because my friend's mom always used to take us there. We used to take the 704 all the way down to Patterson, right? From Willowbrook. And one day we just sitting there, and you know, it's funny, bro, because like, you know, she'd be cutting my hair, and just rarely she'd be turning my chair to see outside the window, right? You can
Yeah.
see everything that's happening outside the window. And I'm sitting there, she's cutting my hair, and bro, I had to be like 14, 13, something like that, bro. I
Yeah.
was young, maybe even younger. And I remember just watching out the window and looking what's happening, right? And people walking by. You have that one crackhead who's just walking around doing bullshit, asking for money, asking for change. But he's not even doing it politely. He's just like, and people just like walking, making like a whole half circle around him, not even paying him no mind. I'll never forget, there's one guy on his bike, right? He's on his bike. I'll never fucking forget this. He's just driving his bike, and bro, this guy out of nowhere grabs him, throws him off the bike, and starts stealing his bike, bro. And I was like, bro, what this is exactly what I'm talking
bro,
about.
like,
Right?
you see,
and
like,
I'm like, bro, what the fuck is happening? But the worst part, bro, is that this guy got off, and then he started getting his ass beat by the guy who fucking he ripped off the bike from, right?
Damn.
This guy just starts ripping him, and I'm just like,
that's some karma.
bro, that it is some karma, right? And we all watching this, bro, and the Dominican ladies are all talking shit about this. And you know what the craziest thing is? No one's calling for help.
I will say, bro, like it is a very like there's like this like thing, like I don't know, like I wish I could get like really like into this, like there's like a culture, like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of like unwritten rules for like stuff that like Like, you know, and I feel like you just, when you grow up in like when you grow up anywhere, you learn your surroundings and you learn how like things work. Not saying like, you know, nobody's supposed to call the cops in Patterson, like, you know what I
It's
mean? But
hard.
it
No,
is like,
this is a
it's
topic.
very hard. Like, you know, like you want to stay out of it, like, you know. And I will say, like, even my mom and stuff, like, she's told me before, like, you know, like please just like stay out of like it, like stay out of stuff, like, you know what I mean, because she knows like I'm a hothead and she knows like things happen and like people fuck around sometimes, but it's just like that's the way, like, you know, like you're scared for your safety sometimes, like, you know, I don't live on the best block, you know, and like I think about that shit all the time, like it sucks that I have to be scared for my brother coming back from the bus, like it sucks that I have to be worried about somebody saying the wrong shit to my sister, like, you know.
Yeah.
And it's because like there's not that like, and this is the part that I like why I mean for it, it's just like I think a lot about why things are the way they are, and it's like, bro, like look at where like you're set up for this stuff, like, you know, like when I was younger, I remember wanting to just never fight. I remember when I was younger, bro, I was scared shitless of being in my first fight. Like I remember the thought of it being like, and then it happened, and you know, like you, like as time goes and like, you know, things are happening, like you grow this like this you just grow this thing where it's like it's normal, like, you know what I mean, like you learn to be like, yo, like
Like a tolerance.
yeah, like you learn a tolerance for these things that, like, you know, like you wouldn't have if like you weren't in these positions. So it's just like I feel like the problem isn't like the spot. It's just like there's like a lot of misguided, like, you know, things like around there. There's a lot of misguided people around there. There's a lot of misguided adults out there, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Let alone these kids that are being able, like, are being are idolizing the people, like, you know, over here. Like I remember idolizing these scary ass looking people on my block, being like, yo, I want to be respected like them, like, you know what I mean, like I want to have that, like they look cool, like, you know what I mean, nobody's fucking with them, like, and when you come from a place that you can get fucked with, like you don't want to be fucked with, so it's like you look up to the people that are not fucked with, and those people that are not fucked with have these things, like, you know, and like you those are the people you're idolizing. But I just feel like that's why, like, I just want to do so much for it, because like imagine these people had, like, you know, therapy, like able to come, like imagine resources were there, imagine like there was this fucking little hiking spot, like, you know, like just like
like it takes a village mentality to like grow everybody.
Exactly.
You know? And I think that's a huge thing, because if not, it's at the same time, it's like it's hard to get out of that, you know. It's hard to get out of that mentality. Even like, you know, it's funny, I live in a good place now. I live in Little Falls, you know, and I never even had to real experience, like as an older kid, like even past like maybe 4, you know, what it was like to grow up in Patterson. You know, I was in and out of Clifton, Patterson, dealing with bullshit, dealing with kids who wanted to fight, but like never that deep, or, you know, you're there every day and you wake up and it's like you wake up on the block, you know. But even, you know, learning stuff, Latinos, you know what I mean? It's always like, mind your business. You know what I mean? Mind your business. It's funny, my sister called me, and this literally happened last week. My sister called me, and she was like, yo, she's like, I heard screaming, like, around the block. Like guttural, visceral type pain screaming, right? And then she's like, I'm scared. And she's like, I grabbed the baby, and she's like, I'm in my room. And I was like, cool. I was like, call the cops. And then she's like, well, she's like, my husband's telling me not to. And I was like, why?
Yeah.
I was like, they literally have nothing else to do. Number one, we live in a good neighborhood. You know, they have nothing else to do. Why wouldn't you? It's like, nah. He's like, he's saying that, you know, he doesn't want to make problems and all this. And I was like, yo, like, it's not about making problems, bro. Like, I was like, somebody could be hurt. Somebody could be doing something. And listen, worst comes to worst, they come through, they check up on it. Worst thing comes to worst, the neighbors are annoyed. That's it. That's the worst thing that happens. You know, and it is what it is. Or best situation, somebody needs help and you get them some help.
You actually help them,
and it's like that mentality, you know.
That's
what
I was just about to say. It's like, and I feel like a lot of like me growing up right now is just crazy that you make this. Is that I think I've been like kind of like saying it in a way, but a lot of I feel like change in these different aspects have came from unlearning and then relearning. You know?
Yeah.
I literally feel that way, bro. Like I literally feel like I've been unlearning the things that like I taught myself and then relearning the way that I want to go about it now. And I've been trusting myself that like I want to do the right thing for myself. I want to do the right thing for the world. I want to do the right thing for my music, and I'm going to trust that now. Like, you know what I mean? So the things that I didn't look at as some way, or I would like look at some way, I question those things. And if I feel like I still have the same morals about it, then I'm good with it. But if I don't, if it gives me a weird feeling, I'm down to see like what I have to do to like do that. And I'm down to switch what I have to do to be in that way of thinking, because that is a way of thinking that we've grown up with. Like, you know what I mean?
Facts.
I grew up thinking, I still grow up thinking that it's normal. Like, bro, last year, my aunt told me from North Carolina, I think it was her, that she was like, yo, there's always like ambulances passing by over here. And it did not like, that shit's crazy to me because I am used to it being that way. I am used to seeing cops on the block and I'm used to seeing ambulances. That's a normal to me. But it's just like, she said that and it's just like clicked in my brain like, yo, like, that's wild that I'm used to that. That's wild that I think that's normal. It's wild that I'm used to hearing some sound and like it possibly being shots. Like it's wild that I'm used to this type of stuff. It's wild that I have to like wonder if like my brother's okay. Like it's wild that I have to deal with all this stuff, you know? So it's like I've been thinking about that and like I've been like really just like focusing on like how can I make this better? Like, you know what I mean? Like how can I because we deserve it. Like, you know what I mean? Like who wants to like keep living in this paranoid feeling? I'm paranoid as fuck, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I be paranoid as hell walking down the block. I've always learned like, bro, when I was in high school, I used to walk with my knife in my hand opened already in my pocket. Like, you know that? Like, bro, and like ask like the people inside of like my like high schools, bro. Like I used to fucking put that shit inside of fucking ink. So that like, because bro, like that, and like, you know, like, and it's like these things that like, you know, you would do for your own safety, and it's just like that's how like, you know, like this shit is serious, like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just like I don't want to feel that way of like feeling like I have to look over my shoulder and stuff. And it's like that's what I'm saying, like this year I feel like I grow up a lot because I went through like the hardest time of my life and I questioned myself. It forced me to question, what do I want to be, what do I want to be known for, what do I like, how do I want to feel inside, and it changed a lot of things for me.
Word. Thank you for sharing that, dude. We're actually coming pretty close to the end of the podcast, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. It felt like that the last time too.
Yeah. I do have 2 more questions for you, though. I do have 2 more questions for you. And the first one, and we don't have to get into this if you know, because I don't know if it's like out information or you could give it out on the podcast, whatever. But you mentioned leaving Jersey, right? Can we talk about that at all? Or
Hell yeah.
All right, cool. So we leave in the East for the West Coast, right?
Yeah.
I talk a lot to people about the foundation of Jersey and the people who are actually going to stay here and change it. And it's nothing against you. It's nothing against you, because if I was in your shoes, I'd do the same shit. I was in Cali earlier this year, got to go to San Francisco, Oxnard, LA, see the whole game out there. It's the wave. It's definitely the wave.
Yeah.
If you're an artist and you're out there, the inspiration you get from just beautiful nights every single day, you know what I mean? And having that escape, man, and getting away from Jersey, especially like, you know, during the wintertime, even though you love the wintertime.
I was about to say, like, it's funny, like, that's what I'm stressed about, not having
hard.
winter.
Yeah. It's hard, but, you know, what do you think Jersey is missing for artists to truly succeed and make it in the game?
Damn, I fuck with that. I fuck with that question because, like, I'm not ashamed of, like, really talking about this stuff. And I appreciate you for, like, taking that precaution. But I feel like you shouldn't be ashamed to say, like, well, you know, where you want to take your, you know, your art. Like, you shouldn't be ashamed of, like, where you want to go. Like, there's, like I said, bro, like, the world is fucking beautiful as fuck, bro. I talk to artists from all over the world, and I'm like, bro, like, what, like, I understand loving where you come from so much, but there's nothing wrong with, like, expanding, like, you know, your own, your horizon, like, where you're able to be like, I went here, you know? And I feel like, to me, I feel like what Jersey is missing, in my case only, I can only speak from my, you know, my position, but I just feel like it's missing more of the creative side of like being able to have that like real hip hop culture, being able to have that real creative culture. Like it's not out here to be creative fully. Like you know what I mean? Like for at least like what I'm trying to do. Like I can't book a certain event spot because they don't want rap music. You know what I mean? I can't have my show somewhere because there's a curfew. Like, you know, I can't shoot, like, you know, there's just things like that. And it's just like, I feel like there needs to be more of that culture brought out. Like, I feel like the culture we have, there's a lot of Spanish music, you know, and if you're a Spanish artist, like I would say, bro, like make this shit work here because, you know, over here, Spanish music is booming. Like you go to any club over here in this area, bro, they're playing mostly Spanish music. You know what I mean? And if they're not, what else are they playing? What do you think? Like if we went to a club right now, what are the two top genres? Like just to see like because and then I'll tell you like, you know.
I'll probably say like Latino music, obviously. Maybe hip hop, but mainstream shit, bro.
Yo, so look, right? With that being said, right? It's a different like it's like trap. It's very hood trap. Like it's that hard trap, right? So that's the and like I said, like there's nothing wrong with those things because those people are telling their stories. You know what I mean? So it's just like when it comes to like these different things, like that's why you can't be afraid of being able to like expand because there's just certain things that are happening and like, you know, that doesn't mean like you can't make the stuff happen where like you want it and then like bring it back to your thing. And that's what I plan on doing, bro. Like whether I fucking make it from here or I make it in Cali, like, bro, like I'm from Patterson and this sound, I'm making sure people know like, yo, like it's y'all are just sleeping. Like there's fire ass artists that are out here making the real vibe music. Like that's what I call my shit. Like my shit is just like a vibe. Like I just want to be like this vibe. So and there's just a lot of people that are doing that. There's Landon, there's like I said, like there's just bro, Misfit, there's people producing that are like there's so many sounds, you know what I mean? So like there's like, and I feel like that's what we're missing. We're missing places to like really like show it like that there's a diverse sound in here, that there's a like cultures and there's really like places that you can go to really like expand on these cultures and stuff like that. And whereas I feel like inside of like Cali, like if you go to Cali, it's because you're trying to do something. And not only are you trying to do something, you made that step to go to a fucking very expensive spot and you have to. You feel me? Like you literally have to. Over here, for me at least, I don't have that sense of like urgency and like I push myself to do it, but like I just feel like when I was in Cali, like I'm working with different people with different sounds, like, you know, and that's nothing against everybody over here. I haven't worked out with everybody over here. It's not there yet. You know, I just feel like there's not those sounds that like I want to take, like from the circle like I've been around, and like, you know, I'm just, like the people that I have worked with in Cali were able to like show me that. And when you go to like the clubs over there, they're playing different music, and that like, you know, it's just all culture stuff. You know what I mean? Like a different like culture. And I feel like that's the type of thing that I want to be in. And over here, it just doesn't, it's like my music isn't that, like, you know, like you're not going to really like hear me playing. Like you're mostly going to hear some really loud Spanish music, or you're going to hear like, like, you know, and like, you know, there's nothing against that. Like, but it's not me, you know?
No, I get you. Dude, perfect. One last question for you, dude, before we close out today.
Hit me.
Every artist goes through a time period where they're not sure if they're going to make it, if this is worth still putting in. Nobody understands, a lot of people don't understand doing something that you love, but having to grind a job you might not to really get to where you want to get. And in your journey, man, It's been years. It's been years. At your lowest point, where you were as an artist in person, what advice would you give yourself in that time? If you were talking to yourself from now.
That's fine. To be honest, I would really just tell myself, trust yourself. Trust that if you keep having these feelings that something is not happening, that you're not, as like, you know how like there's that thing that is like how people get comfortable in a relationship and then like they're scared to move on. You know what I mean? It's because of that like and then after everything happens, they're like, yo, like it's crazy that I really felt like I wasn't gonna be able to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's because like in that time, like it feels so real. Like it feels like never ending, bro. Like, you know, like if you're having an anxiety attack, like you feel like everything is crashing down, bro. Like that's how these things feel. And it's because we're our own, like literally like we're the superstar in our own movie. So we don't have anything to go off of. Sometimes bro, when I leave this room, you don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like I come back in your movie again when I'm here. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm going through real shit that you won't know. And that's why you don't have those things to go back to. So I feel like you don't have that extra thing that lets you know you're fine. So it gets really hard when it's really hard. You know what I mean? So I think if I could really tell myself something like in that time, I would just be like, bro, like you're good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you feel like you want more, fucking do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you feel like this person's taking advantage, then do it, you know, do what you got to do. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, don't feel bad for these feelings that you're feeling. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't make yourself feel like everything's good when it's not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going through something, bro, like feel that shit, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes we're scared to feel certain things. We're scared to like make ourselves realize things. That's why that girl or that guy is not telling themselves like, yo, like this is not where I want to be and I got to move on, because we be scared of that thought. Like, we be scared of like the unknown. You know what I mean? Like, we're scared of that. So I think I would just really tell myself like, bro, like you've been doing this for years, bro. Like, you know what I mean? You might have not got to where you want to be. Like, you might be like feeling like you're going in a circle sometimes. You may not have a lot of money. You may be feeling like, you know, nothing's moving, but then like, you know, go for that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't be afraid to tell yourself that you're feeling these things and that you're going through these, and that like, you know, you deserve to like not really have to work with this person, or you deserve to like, you know, tell this person like, you know, like I want to do this. Like, trust yourself, you know, trust yourself, because at the end of the day, you only have yourself. So why will you not make yourself the most like happiest that you can? And always make sure that you're putting out your shit. Like with me, like even like with my music, like sometimes, you know, I've been in rooms with people that could change my life, you know? I've been in rooms with people that have changed other people's lives, you know? And it's just like, I've been doing this for so long, bro. Like, I've been doing this since, like, I made my first song, bro, when I was literally in 7th grade. I put out that first song, and I was doing everything that I could so that I could be doing shit, you know what I mean? And I made that the thing that I want to do. So why the fuck wouldn't I take everything that, like, I feel serious if people haven't had like half of the years that I've had? And like, that's not even something to flex, but this is like, bro, like what else do you need to show yourself that you have everything you need? Like, you don't need anything else. The only person that's stopping you is that little person in your mind that's telling you, yo, actually, you could do a couple more years. Actually, you haven't been on Pepsi. Actually, this person's doing way better than you, and you've been doing it. Like, you know, that's the only person that's like making you feel like you can't trust yourself and like get more. So like, fucking take that shit out. Like, you know, feel that feeling, become aware of it, tell yourself that's bullshit, and fucking keep moving, you know? And I think that's really what I would like tell myself, because that's a very real thing that like everybody feels, and like everybody's gotta like learn to overcome that, because if you don't, the only thing it's doing is stopping you from like really reaching that side of you that you really want, like, you know? And like, yeah, that would be definitely what I would tell myself.
Wntrbrk, thank you for coming on the podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure, bro. Just talking with you, getting to catch up a little bit. Let the people know where they can find you, all socials. If you have any songs coming out, let the people know.
You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter at WNTRBRK_. I have a lot of new music like coming out, to be honest. Like I said, like I'm at this time of like really showing that side that like I want to show Wntrbrk, and I'm like, you know, I'm coming out of that you know, maybe this is gonna hit the streets crazy. So I have a lot of music that's gonna be coming out. Not really anything that's like, I'm just gonna be putting out my art now instead of just like really thinking about it. So I'm really like ready to just see what I put out. But yeah, WNTRBRK, a lot of different like music coming out, a lot of different visuals coming out, and I'm very excited to be able to like really show that side to you guys, you know, because you guys deserve it, I deserve it. So I'm really looking forward to the future. I thank everybody over here, like Ayoo Chill Podcast, Lewis, like it's just like a great thing. And then like, bro, what you're doing for like artists is really great, like, you know. So I just want you to like always remember that, because, you know, everything I'm talking about, like this little thing in your head, I'm pretty sure you go through this same thing too.
Yeah.
So like, bro, like keep doing your thing, bro, because this is really gonna help a lot of artists, and I fucking can't wait to like look back at this someday and be like, damn, I didn't know shit at this time. Like, you know.
I love it, bro. Time capsules, memory capsules.
Hell yeah.
Guys, y'all already know the business. It's Ayoo Chill Podcast, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We got an OnlyFans that nobody subscribed to yet. Go do that shit. Yeah, yeah.
For real? Wait. Yo, I was like, no way.
Yo,
That's how you go. Yo, I'm over here like, yo, this guy's wild.
All right, my boy. Go follow, comment, like, subscribe, share, guys. Y'all already know the business. And my boy, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
man.
word, bro. Oh, man. That shit was great. You're fucking different. Oh, bro. That...